Hello, good evening all. Am I audible and visible? Please
Yeah,
confirm.
yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening. So, welcome to live session 11 for the Natural Language Processing course hosted by NPTEL. Let me share my screen. So, I hope the screen is also visible now. Please confirm if you are able to see. Is it visible?
Yeah,
Okay, great. So, welcome everyone to live session 11 for the Natural Language Processing course by NPTEL. Myself, Shubhi Bansal, your teaching assistant for this course. Let us begin with the. I hope you have gone through the videos for text summarization and text classification. So, today we will be seeing some questions related to that. We will solve them actually. So, this is the first question, which asks what are the ideal qualities of summary in automatic extractive text summarization? As we know, text summarization is of two types, extractive, one is abstract. The question is concerning the extractive text summarization technique. Are you able to see the screen?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I can.
just a second. Okay. So the question asks about the extractive text summarization process, like what are the ideal qualities, and in this only single option is correct. So please attempt this question and put your answers in the chat box. Everyone please give an attempt. Okay, already solved. Four. Okay. Others also please give it a try and put your answers in the chat box. Don't look at others' answer.
Please display the question.
Yeah, so just let's wait for 2 minutes. I think people are still joining.
Okay.
Yeah.
बाप रे माथा दुख हम कह दिली
Raja, please mute yourself. I think your speaker is on. Yeah. So this is the question. It's concerning the extractive text summarization technique, ideal qualities of the summary, concerning the relevance and the redundancy, which should be maximum and which should be minimum. Everybody, please put the answers in the chat box, all those who have joined. And we must also know the reason why one should be maximum and the other one should be minimum. It's not just like ticking the maximum or the minimum. Because many times the nature of the questions is that they are of multiple select, and that sometimes you also have to eliminate the wrong option. Rather than just picking the correct one, you are supposed to eliminate the wrong options as well. So answer accordingly. most of you know the answers. Let us discuss. The correct answer is option 4 only, as most of you have already listed. So why we say like it's like there is a document. Let's say there is some document and it is made up of some textual units, and all these textual units they belong to one particular theme, and we are required to generate the summary of it. So what is the criteria is that like here in the in case it's like let's say one document, we are talking about the single doc summarization, single document summarization either, or it could be a multiple document summarization task as well. Okay, so here your textual units, these since it is a single doc, can you tell me what your textual units could be in this case? Anybody?
Number of sentence.
Yes, correct. So those would be the sentences, and in those sentences, you are to identify which are the most relevant sentences. And not only that, like let's say we initially started, let's say S is your summary for the sentences that you are to take, and T1, T2, Tn, these could be your textual units, that is the individual sentences. And we are, let's say we want to generate the summary. So let's say I picked the first sentence. Why? Because it was having the maximum relevance. We computed, or the relevance scores were given to us. The whatever the sentence that was having the maximum relevance, I'll sort them in the descending order and take the one that is the maximum relevant. And let's say now my this set t is the set of all the textual units. Now in the first step, my s, it contains t1, textual unit 1. So when I will be looking whether I should include t2 or not, so I should see like the similarity between t1 and t2, and if this similarity is very very high, I am likely to discard t2. Why? Because it is also giving me the same information as t1. My goal is I want the document to be very, very relevant. At the same time, it should not give me redundant information. Redundant information, let's say some information was being conveyed by the sentence T1 and T2 is also conveying the same information. That kind of thing I do not want. I also want the diversity in my summarization, so that whatever the sentences I am including, I am able to capture the maximum information. And why do I not want the redundancy? As I told you, like we should be very sure, like why, what option we are taking. Why we do not want the redundancy? Because we are always having the space crunch in the case of summarization. Summarization is nothing but like getting the maximum information in the minimum number of the sentences. Minimum number of sentences. Why? Why do we want minimum number of sentences? Is like you have a very limited space to keep the summary in. That's why we are concerned with the factor of minimizing the redundancy. That is also equivalent to increasing the diversity. So, is the explanation clear to all?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, clear.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great. Let us move to the second question. So, okay, let me just. So here, let's say you were having some document and it contains 5 sentences. So let's say T1, T2, Tn were your textual units. These are here, the value of n is 5. And you are supposed to use the Lex rank algorithm. That is your graph based approach derived from PageRank, right? To calculate the relevance of the sentences, where your sentences will act as the nodes, sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, and the edges between them are determined by the similarity. And what is the similarity matrix is like 5 by 5. Why? Because this is your, take it this way, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, and similarly this way. What is the similarity of sentence 1 with sentence 1, sentence 1 with sentence 2? Similarly here, So now you are to calculate the row stochastic version of the matrix. I hope you are familiar with this term. It was discussed in the lecture corresponding to Lex rank. So attempt this question and put your answers in the chat box. Maybe you can take a screenshot because the matrix and these are displayed on two different slides. Let me see if I can put them both on the same slide so that it's easier for you to attempt. So just a second. Please try to join on time next time onwards. Everybody, please try to join next time. From the next lecture onwards, please try to join at 6. We are in the middle of discussing the question. So it again is like I have to explain the question again. So given this matrix, you are to calculate the row stochastic version of it that is used in the Lex rank algorithm. So I've kept the matrix here and these are your 4 options. Please attempt this question and put your answers in the chat box. So you are to calculate the row stochastic version that is given by M tilde. This is your M matrix. Attempt this question and put your answers in the chat box. I hope everyone is aware with LexRank. So that is a graph-based approach where the sentences act as the nodes and the similarity between the sentences, cosine similarity score acts as the between the two sentences acts as an edge to link the two. So please attempt this question, all of you, and put your answers in the chat box. Be sure to go row wise. Question is clear to all?
Yes, yes.
Okay, give it a try. We'll see the solution in few minutes.
Okay, just a question. So the very first element of this matrix, right? जो सबके top left corner पे है, 0.0. So it's like sentence one's similarity of S1 versus S1. Why is that 0? It should be 1, right? I mean, ideally it should be 1, right? Both same sentences should have similarity score of 1, right?
Yeah, but I think they might have eliminated that fact, like making, just to capture the maximum similarity of one sentence with the others. That's why they have kept it as 0. This is kind of ignoring the self loops. You can
Okay.
just think of it like this. I'll just explain. So we already know this is that the sentence one should exhibit maximum similarity to itself, right? But
Yeah.
what is the concept of PageRank or LexRank? We are supposed to calculate the similarity of one with the others, as we saw in the previous question also. We
Yeah.
are supposed to capture the diversity, that is reducing the redundancy. But if you take this value as one, then you would say that this is kind of a redundant sentence. Let's eliminate this S1 itself, whereas S1 might be the most relevant, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just kind of an exercise to ignore this self loop. That's why they have kept these diagonal elements as 0.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I hope it's clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Consider this value as 0 only.
think this question is pretty straightforward, I guess.
Okay, but I don't see any answers in the chat box. That's why I'm reading.
I have not calculated, but I think if we can eliminate the false answers from here, right?
Yeah.
Directly. Yeah.
Maybe you can give
Don't
it
need
a
to-
try. Someone
Yeah.
has put option 2. Gopi Chand has put. Okay.
Yes.
Shall I discuss
Yeah. Yeah.
it? Okay. So, go to the new slide. So, what does row stochastic means? That is, we will, let's say, what was the first entry in the matrix? 0, 0.5, 4, 2, and 0. 0. Can you help me with the values 0?
Row wise, right? You want row wise data.
Yeah, 0 0.4, 0 0.2, 0. This is the value. So
Yeah.
row stochastic means you will go in this direction, okay? In the direction of the row. The matrix is made up of rows and the columns. So this is your column and this is your particular row. So we will be going row wise, and this stochastic nothing means nothing but the normalization. Normalization means the sum of all elements in that row should be equal to 1. Okay?
Hmm.
And how we will make this now we see that this, if we add all these three, 0 0.5, 0 0.4 and 0 0.2, this does not sum up to 1. So what we will do is, for this particular element, what will I do? 0 0.5, whatever is the element value, upon sum of all the elements in that row, like
One.
this all elements. So what I will do, 0 plus 0 0.5 plus 0 0.4 plus 0 0.2 plus 0. Okay, so this will be 0 0.5 divided by 1.1. So what value you will get from here is 0 0.455. Similarly, for 0 0.4, how we will do? Can anybody help if you understood?
Yeah. So it's 0.4 by 1.1, right? If you have to divide everything by 1.1, keep doing that. Yeah.
Correct. 0.455. Similarly, for 0 0.2, you will do the same way. 0.2 over 1.1. That value comes out to be 0.364. Okay.
Yeah.
0.364. And similarly, for the other two rows, you will do, like for all the rows, you will repeat this exercise.
I think in this nth question, it could have been eliminated without actually calculating it, because none of the rows are adding to 1. All the rows should be added to 1. So all the options here, we don't get 1 in first row itself.
Yes.
So it is none of the above, right?
No. That's why I told you to calculate the values. Correct answer
It
is
should
option.
have been so each row should add to 1, right?
Yes.
So
No. The definition of this row stochastic is like the sum of all the elements in the row should be 1. This is the criteria for normalizing the matrix.
yeah.
But not like if you see, let's try to add this 0 0.455, 0 0.364 and 0 0.182. 542 or 9, 11.
11, 14, 19, 20,
20.
20, 7, 4, 8,
This
9,
is 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
1.101.
Yeah, so if you see, this 1.101 was the value that we took in the denominator. This is the criteria for normalizing.
In the lectures, it was, maybe I understood wrong, but what was mentioned is that the sum of all values after that in that row stochastic matrix should be 1, right? Is that the criteria or something else?
Let me
After doing this, so once you have that similarity, cosine similarity score, was first you make a matrix with cosine similarity score, and then you try to convert it to row stochastic matrix. The condition for converting that is each row should add up to 1.
Let me
So,
just see that lecture note. But I think this is the way you should be attempting this question.
yeah,
Sum actually is 1.001. If you add 0.455, 0.364, and 0.182.
1.001.
It'll come 1.001. So
Yeah.
that 001 at the end is, I think, because of a rounding error. So I think 455 might be 4545.
So
364 might be 3636, like that.
Yeah, I mean, so that is the problem, right? I mean, let's say if this comes, now the condition is
It'll come as
1.001.
1.
Yeah. So I mean, should we consider 1 or 0.001, because that's not mentioned that you need to round off and something. So
No.
No, if you take this, see, 1.001 is nothing. Like, even if you round it off from the third to the second digit also, it will be 1.00, right? If had
Yes.
it been like here, 1.06, then you have made it as 1.01.
Uh-huh. No, okay.
Yeah. So if
that for
I'll
discussion.
give another example. Okay, let's say we if we round off to the second digit, so it'll be 0.45, 0.36, and 0.18. So when we add up all three, it'll come to 0.99. So the thing is, why is it not coming to 1? Because the 0.01 will be from the digits that we've rounded off to.
No.
So the
See,
extra
whatever we are discussing-
454545, the extra 363636, and the extra 181818 will be compensated for when we are rounding off.
See, no,
So-
my question is not that.
When you are calculating, don't round it off. After you have
Yeah.
obtained the final
Yes.
answer, just
Then
try
round.
to round it off to the nearest place. And if you see in all the options, they have taken 3 decimal places. This is very negligible value, right? 0.001.
Yes, so we have an option where it says none of the above, and one of your answers has come to 0.001. I mean, but I mean, because we are not given specific instruction in the question that you can round it off. So let's say this was where you have an option where there is an option of none of the above, right? Had it not be there, maybe we could have gone it with this one.
You're not understanding.
That is-
What we are
that's
saying
not
is,
valid.
when you have after 3 decimal points, okay,
If if it were like 1.1, then I could have considered marking as none of the above as a valid option.
Okay.
But
Okay.
1.001, even in the case of 1.01, I would have considered it as marking as option 2 only.
Okay.
Because you will see, you are trying to take this case, very ideal scenario, right? But try to consider it like just 2 decimal place, or I mean,
And see, I understand what you're saying. I mean, what you both guys are saying.
let me give a better example.
So my concern is, see, for the understanding and discussion purpose, we can talk about this. But what happens is, let's say, I mean, it's not all about the marks and stuff, but let's say when you appear for this exams and stuff or whatever it is, so you maybe sometimes you get this kind of thing where, none of the above may have been considered because, let's say they say, I did not ask you to round it 0.01. That kind of thing has happened previously also in some of the assignments and stuff. So my concern is, yes, I understand from a understanding point of view and a discussion point of view, that is fine. But when this gets marked or when this gets things like this, how do you choose that? Because then once that answer is done, it's done, right? So that's my concern, because I have checked few scenarios which I wanted to discuss also at the end of this session. There are certain things in which you can see it's not very clear, it's very ambiguous, but then one of them is chosen for some reason. I can give you examples, but maybe after this.
I'll just let me just give an example with regard to this particular problem. So if we convert each of these numbers to individual fractions, okay. So the first number is 0. That's fine. The second number in the first row is 5 divided by 11. Okay. The third number is going to be 4 divided by 11, and the fourth number is going to be 2 divided by 11, and the fifth number is going to be 0. So what exactly does 5 divided by 11 come to? So that number will come to 0.45454545, etc.
Yeah.
Right. Similarly, the number 4 divided by 11 will come to 0.363636, etc. And the number 2 divided by 11 will come to 0.181818, etc. Okay. Now, what the options are showing is that each of the cells in the matrix are being rounded up to 3 decimal points. So that's why you have 0.454545 etc. will come to 0.455. Similarly, 0.363636 etc. will come to 0.364, and 0.181818 etc. will come to 0.182. When you add up these fractions, 5 by 11, 4 by 11, and 2 by 11, you will end up with 11 by 11, which is 1. So therefore, option 2 itself is the correct one.
Let me put it this way. Suppose we are not given in the question how many decimal places you are to consider or to what places you round off. Okay.
Mhm.
But see, in the question also we are taking 3 digits after the decimal, and as someone just explained, you are just rounding off this recurring decimal concept 0.4545 to
Mhm.
0.455. This why we are doing, because everywhere in the question and in the options we are seeing they're considering 3 digits after the decimal,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
we try to choose the nearest option. In case it does not satisfy, then you go for none of the above.
Okay. All
Like
right.
in these questions, when you are having this decimal kind of a thing, had it been the case of 1.1, here you could
Mhm.
have been given the benefit of doubt, like since one of the options was none of the above, so some percentage of students have ticked this option. Here the
Mhm.
benefit of doubt can be given, but not
Okay.
in the case of 1.01 or 1.001, as we
Mhm.
see all the options are in 3 decimal places and also concerning here.
Okay. Okay.
So just try to analyze it in this way. Go to none of the above in the worst case scenario. Just take it as a rule in here. I mean, not as a rule, but seeing the discussion, I would say.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Try to go to the nearest answer. In case none satisfies or there is like a huge gap, then you go for none of the above.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubt? Anybody? Okay, then let's move to the next question.
Are there any other ways of normalizing this as well, or this is the only, I mean, summing and dividing, or is there anything else also we can do? Is there any other practices for normalizing the content to get to row static version?
Yeah, there are kind of a lot of techniques that are available if you've gone through the machine learning lecture. So we have this is kind of a min max scalar, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So in that you choose the minimum or the maximum value as the absolute one or the absolute zero, and
Mhm.
based on those you try to normalize the other values. But as discussed in the question, this is the
Mhm.
row stochastic version that you have to stick with for the page rank concept.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So another way is like if you remember the standard scalar is there, it will
Mhm.
calculate the mean, mu,
Mhm.
sigma, and then it will try to like n minus mu by sigma is the normalizing factor over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in case of min max, you will take min as the zero, maximum value as the one, and based on that, you will try to, let's say in this row, this minimum value was 0.182,
Mhm.
and we were trying to normalize it by taking, let's go by the maximum value. That will be easier to understand. So this you will take as the absolute one, okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
and this 0.364 you will divide by 0.455, and then this sorry, here we should be taking, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm explaining it over here. So here if you take the maximum, so this will be 0.5 by 0.5. For zero point 0.4, how you will do 0.4 by 0.5, and for this 0.2 by 0.5.
Okay.
Or if you go by the row wise, but in case when we are doing for the this kind of exercise for the ML problems, there we consider over the entire matrix or the entire row or the entire column. It depends.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to the next question. So goals of using the PageRank algorithm and maximum marginal relevance for summarization. Again, go to this option in case none of them satisfies.
Yeah.
Try to eliminate these 1, 2, and 3. Be very careful in this regard what to take in the page rank as the edges and as the nodes. I already explained when I was explaining the lex rank algorithm. What do we take? LexRank is an adaptation of PageRank for NLP tasks. I'll give you one question to solve for this PageRank if time allows. Everybody, please attempt and put your answers in the chat box. We are coming at the end of the discussion sessions. So do maximum practice, attempt maximum number of questions.
Will we have any more sessions after next week? I mean, next week is the last one, right? Week 12. So would you guys keep any sessions as well after that?
If you want, you can write to the NPTEL authority that you want additional sessions to be conducted. Or in case you have any specific doubts and want them to be resolved, you can always write back to me at this email address.
Okay.
Please note this email address. You can write to me at this.
Yeah, I have a couple of things which I'll mail it to you. Maybe just wanted to get your opinion on that. Yeah.
Sure. So by that time, everyone else please attempt this question. There's a single option correct, okay? What is the date for the exam?
I think it's 29th.
Okay.
We just wanted to ask, we haven't got any admit card till now, right? Or is it only me? I have not seen. Anybody else? Anybody else has got admit card here?
If someone has got, please reply. We discussed this question abhi 2 minutes ago. Please put your answers in the chat box. I don't see any answers till now.
We have put it, right? Already posted. I think three people have posted, 3 to 4 people.
Okay. Then let us discuss. So they asked like, what is the goal of using the PageRank algorithm? If you know PageRank, so how does it work in a graph structured manner, right? And here we have the nodes. Let's say we have the documents D1, D2, D3. This we are discussing for PageRank, okay? And the similarity. In the case of PageRank, it's the number of links. But let's say we are taking it in the example of LexRank. So here your nodes will be, let's say we are doing the single document classification, okay? This is your different sentences will be there, S1, S2, and S3. And here the similarity between the two sentences will act as the edge weight. Okay, so our goal is to find whether the most informative word nodes or ranking all the possible summaries or finding the most informative sentences.
And also removing redundancies, right? This is also part of LexRank.
They're asking specifically for maximum marginal relevance why we are doing.
Okay. Goals of PageRank and maximum marginal relevance.
Okay. So if we see here from the options, let's say the document is there. What will be the textual units in a document, whether it will be sentences or the words? What is the hierarchical structure? Let's say I have a corpus. What is it? What a corpus or the database is made up of?
Documents.
Documents. What a document is made up of?
Sentences,
And sentences are made up of
words.
Okay, so if we see, since they are given, they are saying about the document graph. Let's take this option 3. So are we trying to find the most informative word nodes or the most informative sentences?
We should be finding sentences.
Yes, we should be finding sentences. And maximum marginal relevance, if you remember, what is the criteria? As we discussed in the previous question also, our goal is to maximize the diversity, right?
Yeah.
Diversity that we have to increase, and redundancy we have to reduce the redundancy.
Yeah.
So this is like if the option have been like finding the most informative sentences and a redundancy,
Mm.
that would have been correct. And increasing reducing the redundancy is equivalent to increasing the diversity, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the correct option.
Correct
So
answer.
option 2 is correct. Increasing the relevance, is correct option, but because of this first thing, no word
Yeah.
notes, this has been marked out as false. And ranking all the possible summaries, first this is like a task. Page rank or lex rank is to generate the summary, not ranking the summary, right?
Ranking is based on maximum marginal relevance, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
ranking.
yes. Like,
Yeah.
and that too also on based on like what is the relevant score, what after subtracting the redundancy value, and every iteration we are trying to re-rank it.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's why we have seen both the ways, like why this option 2 is correct, finding the correct one and eliminating the others as well.
Okay, so if we okay, yeah, sorry, please finish. Yeah.
Clear to all? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So this page rank, the graph that you just drawn, right? Corpus to doc to sentence and word. In the lecture that when we started on the very
Consider it
first
as a
lecture.
web page, sorry.
Yeah.
Consider it as a web page, okay?
Yeah. So in the very first lecture, when we started out, the agenda set for this was that we will be focusing on extractive, single document, and generic summary. These are the three genre we will be covering too. So can I say that this lex rank is single document? Is it only considering single document? So let's say 10 sentences in one document. That is what this is the limitation or boundary that we are setting. LexRack can work only like this. We cannot work across documents to find relevancy and stuff.
No, just I am not sure. You might have to check, but let's say we want to adapt LexRank to multi-doc.
Hmm.
Okay, so then in that case, what your nodes will be? Document 1, document 2, and document 3,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then you need to check whether LexRank is the name given for taking the sentences as the nodes or the documents as the node. That one thing you please confirm. That I'm not very sure.
Okay.
But just try to, in case, that's why I first told you what the document graph is, and then we went over the structure. So
Yeah.
let's say in question it says a corpus graph is there, then your nodes will become the docs. Or let's
Docs.
say it's a sentence graph is there, then your nodes will become the words. Okay,
Okay.
just try to be flexible. That's why I say first you have to understand the question itself. That's
Okay.
why we can go over this hierarchy. Always try to remember. This will come very handy in these
Yes.
NLP. Just remember this. What is the hierarchy that we are following? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to the next question. So we are to calculate the ROG 1 and ROG 2's recall values. What is this 1 and 2 refers to?
So
Whether we are to consider unigram, that would be in the case of ROG 1, or whether we will consider the bigrams, two words taken at a time, that will be under the category of ROG 2. Given you a very big hint, just try to calculate this ROG 1 and ROG 2 recall values and put your answers in the chat box. This will take some time, so I'll give you 5 minutes to solve this question.
Meanwhile,
This answer you not put right now, right?
Yeah.
no, that was old 6:30.
Can you share the question?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Thank you.
yes. Someone wanted to enter the lecture. No?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Ask your question. Ask your
Uh,
doubt.
so, I mean, I have not covered this lecture, so I'll not be able to answer this. So I thought maybe I just want to discuss something if that's fine with you.
Okay. Tell.
All right. So this doubt is from a previous lecture. So there was it's one of the assignment questions, right? I just it's not only about the mask survey. So just trying to understand. Yeah. So
Please, can we discuss it towards the end, or you can write to me about that?
until somebody answers, maybe I thought maybe we can use that time. Just a simple question.
I would prefer to take it at the end.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let others attend, those who have covered the lecture.
Yeah.
Consider only the words, ignore these punctuation marks, okay? And put your answers in the chat box. This is very easy, like the easiest question other than the statement questions. This one is the easiest question, free marks. Here S refers to the summary. Whatever summary we have generated, this is the sentence 1, sentence 2, and this is the sentence 3. If this question comes in the paper, you all should be able to attempt it. Anybody able to get the answer? Question 4, answer 2. Okay. This is question. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, just let me know if you are still attempting. I'll wait, otherwise I'll start the discussion. Please unmute and tell if you need 2-3 minutes more to answer. Are you guys still attempting? Okay. Then I'll give 2 minutes more. Okay, great. And you are also able to solve it now. Let us see how we can proceed with the solution. So in the summary, how many words do we have? 4. In sentence 1, how many words we are having?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yes. And in sentence 2,
7.
and in sentence 3 also we have 7. So let's talk about ROG 1. Okay. As we said, we will be considering unigram. What is a unigram?
One
One
word.
word at a time you will consider. So here, from every sentence, you will see what is the overlapping, what is the number of the words in that sentence that are common with the summary. What is their count? And that will be taken one word at a time. So if you see sentence 1, what are the common words here? The cat, present in both, was
Hmm.
present in both, sleeping, present in both. So how many common unigrams we have here?
4.
And in this one, sentence 2, the is there,
3.
cat and was. Found under the bed is not there, so only 3 unigrams we have. Unigrams. And here, the cat was under the bed, you can ignore, and sleeping you will take, because we are taking one word at a time. We are not, though we are concerned with the order, but if we ignore this under the bed, then this sleeping is coming in that order only, right?
Uh-huh.
So here also we have 4 common words. So how do we calculate ROG 1 is like how many number of summation of the number of the sentence words in the summary that you have in common with that particular sentence upon the number of the words in all the sentences. Okay? So this will become what?
4 by 21, I think, for the first one, right? Rogue One.
No, no, not
Uh,
4 by 21. It will be like 4 that we have in common with the first sentence.
yeah.
In the second sentence, you have 3 in common.
Okay.
And
4.
in the third sentence, you have again 4 in common. And what is the number of the words in all the sentences? That is 7. This thing,
Yeah.
7 plus 7 plus 7. So that is 7, 3, 11 by 21. That nearly comes out to be 0.528, 5 to 4.
Mhm. In the third one, you took the cat was the 3 letters in the beginning, and then you took sleeping, right?
Yes.
Uh, so if sequence has to be checked. So I mean, this can also be. So let's say this was not matching. For example, just for the cat was, there was some other first 3 letter was something else, no match, and the only matching was the and sleeping in the second half. The bed sleeping. So in that case, we could have taken 2.
I didn't get your question. Can
So
you?
in R3,
Yes.
the letters that you chose was the cat was, and then you ignored under the bed and you took sleeping. So you had took 4 common letters. What I'm saying is, let's assume R3 the first 3 letters, that is the cat and was something different. Let's say X Y Z.
Hmm.
In that case, if the sentence was X Y Z under the bed sleeping, in this case, the common words would be 2.
Yes.
Okay.
And also you see, like I'm not counting this the twice.
Yeah.
I'm always taking unique unigrams,
Mhm.
unique bigrams also I will take. This doubt of yours will get cleared when you try to solve ROG 2. I'll
Hmm.
discuss it in the next.
Okay.
Is it clear? This one is clear to all, right? ROG 1 is clear to all, है ना?
Yeah.
Okay. So the in the summary we have the cat was sleeping. Okay. Sentence 1, what is that? Cat was sleeping. under the bed. R2 is cat was found the bed. Right. So when we are considering ROG2, you will take unique bigrams. What are bigrams? 2 words taken at a time in order. So first, like the earlier exercise that we did, we will first see the total bigrams in every sentence. Okay. So can you tell me how many bigrams are in this sentence, in this summary? Quickly. Okay, let me tell you how do we calculate the number of bigrams. So the cat, this is one bigram. Cat was, this is another bigram. Was sleeping, this is another bigram. So how many total bigrams?
3.
Similarly, let's say if you have this one, so how many do we have? The cat,
1,
cat
2,
was sleeping,
6
sleeping
value.
under the bed. So how many?
6.
So simple formula that we can see here is, if the length of the sentence is n, number of bigrams that you have is n minus 1.
Yeah.
Earlier we saw that here we had 4 unigrams, here we had 7 and 7, right? So now we will have the unique bigrams like this, total bigrams, and these should be unique. See, if this sentence you see only in this word the is repeating, no? So we will take this one. The here also, if you see, the cat was there, the bed was there. That's why I've considered it as a unique bigram. But when I was counting it in the previous sentence for the unigrams, I took all the number of the words that are there in the sentence. But when I'm counting the unigram, that should be unique. That's why I say unique unigram, unique bigram.
Okay.
So be very clear with this. Do not get yourself confused. So how we will calculate this is simple. Again, ROG2 formula. Number of the bigrams that you have in common over all the sentences with the summary upon total number of the bigrams in all the sentences. So this comes out to be, now see what are the, let's see what are the common unigrams with the summary. The cat present here, 1. Cat was second. Was sleeping, third. So how many common bigrams we had here?
3.
3. For this one, the cat was. The
2.
cat was. So 1 and 2. Do
2.
we have here anywhere was sleeping? No, right?
No.
So just 2. And here, the cat was. So if you see was under the bed sleeping. Though we have was sleeping here as a bigram, but here what we are having as a bigram? Bed sleeping. That is not common with the summary. So how many here?
3 and 2. 2. Sorry. 2.
How 3?
2. 2. Sorry. My bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this will be number of the sentences, number of the bigrams that in every sentence you are having common with the summary. That is 3 plus 2 plus 2 upon total number of bigrams across all the sentences. That is this value. 6 plus 6 plus 6. So this is 7 by 18. What does this value come out to be?
7 by 18.
0.389.
Yeah.
So answer is option 2. Clear to all?
Yes.
This is very easy question. Just that whenever you are counting, the repetitive words will be taken into account, like the here. Repetitive word taken into account. But when you are calculating unigram and bigram, that should be unique. Okay. an order should be there. In case of bigrams, mandatorily the order should be there. Unigram, the order can be like here we ignored was under the, okay. So this can be eliminated. So is it clear to all?
Yes.
Okay. So,
While calculating the bigrams, also, I mean, the total bigrams that are formed in a sentence, that also has to be unique. I'm not asking about comparing the bigrams with the summary, but let's say, for example, in R1, the sentence R1 that we have, the cat was sleeping under the bed. Now, let's say we had the cat was sleeping under the cat, for example. So you have the cat and the cat as a repetitive bigram. So that has to be taken only once in that
yes,
case. Okay.
yes, definitely. Like here, if you remember how many unigrams I am considering, the cat was sleeping, the cat was. So I'm taking three unigrams. I'm not counting
No,
this the again and
not that,
taking it as four.
not that one. Subi. In this case, when you're counting, I'm talking about calculating the denominator for the formula. So in the first case, when you're calculating denominator, in case of unigrams, you're counting each word individually for all the sentences, right?
Yes,
Even that is
that only
repetitive.
I told. Your
Yeah.
unigram and bigram should be unique, but in the denominator they need not be unique.
Okay.
In
Fine.
this, you will take all into account. This thing I
Oh,
already told.
okay. Fine.
Okay. So I think the time is over for today's discussion. The remaining questions can be discussed by other TAs. So in case you have any doubt, please stay back. And I'll upload this video on this YouTube channel link shortly. You can write to me on this email address in case you have any doubts. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, then see you all next week. Those who have doubts can stay back.
Yeah.
Yes, please ask your question, Abhishek.
Yeah. So, so there was a question from last week, right? Let me open the question just for a moment.
You can share your screen if you want.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So, let me see the question. Yeah. Let me share my screen also.
Anyways, I think, okay, maybe you can discuss. I think there are separate sessions for discussing the assignment questions, right?
No, there are not actually.
Okay, okay.
I mean, the sessions that you guys take, I think it is again similar to what you're saying. Same questions are very similar to what kind of questions you discuss. It's very similar in all three. Okay, so tab. Okay,
I cannot see your screen.
yeah, one moment. Oh, okay, no, not this one. Let me say the correct tab. One moment. Yeah, I hope you can see now.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see this particular question, right? So the consider the data set is with a very low number of relations, all of which are very important. Now, for this relation extraction task on the data set, which of the following is the most useful metrics? Now, the answer that has been given is recall. But I want to, why only recall? Why not F1 score? Because I believe recall and precision should be equally important in this case. When you say that the low number of relations are there and all of them are important, so important not only to capture it but also be precise about capturing it, right? Both should be there. What That's my point of discussion. In any this is not only specific to this question, but let's say in general, when we design any ML model, and when I say when I say that these relations are very important to me, when I say something is very important to me, I understand that the recall and precision should be good, not only one of them, right? So, and if both of them have to be required, and I have an option of F1 score, so why not go with F1 score and why only choose recall in this case?
Yeah, this is like a bit ambiguous, but I'll try to explain why they have taken recall as the correct option.
Yeah.
So let's see what is recall. Recall is like, given a data set, you are trying to see how many of them actually match the ground truth.
Yeah.
Right. So formula for recall is, let's say you have some, you are making some let me explain you from the recommendation point of view.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
model predicted some k values. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say those are your recommended values or the predicted values, and in the ground truth you are having some values. So you will try to see out of this top k recommended values, so it will be gh intersection rh upon gh, cardinality of all, right?
Mm-hmm.
In recall we try to see, recall का मतलब क्या, you understand हिंदी, right?
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
तो
नहीं,
recall
रिकॉल
का क्या मतलब
शायद
होता है
रिकॉल।
कि हम
हाँ
ग्राउंड ट्रूथ से, या जो एक्चुअल ट्रूथ हमें गिवन था, हम
हाँ हाँ,
कितनी वैल्यूज को रिकॉल कर पाए, जैसे स्कूल में
बिल्कुल
भी हो ना,
बिल्कुल,
रिकॉल
हाँ
करो।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मतलब
एक्चुअल
हमने
जो
कितनी
था,
करेक्ट वैल्यू आइडेंटिफाई की है टोटल करेक्ट वैल्यूज में से।
हाँ, टोटल
करेक्ट,
मतलब common
मतलब
upon total number of the correct values that you have.
एग्जैक्टली।
Okay, in that case, अब देखो अगर हम प्रिसीशन लेते हैं इस केस में, तो
हम्म
प्रिसीशन का क्या फॉर्मूला होता है? कॉमन वैल्यूज अपॉन टोटल नंबर ऑफ रेकमेंडेड आइटम्स, ठीक है?
नहीं नहीं, प्रिसीजन होता है हाँ, आपके मॉडल ने कितना प्रेडिक्ट किया ट्रू, और
हाँ, और
आप
अपॉन
एक्चुअल
नंबर
में
ऑफ द
कितना true,
प्रिडिक्टेड वैल्यूज, ठीक है?
तो एक्चुअल ट्रुथ वैल्यू डिवाइडेड बाय प्रेडिक्टेड ट्रुथ वैल्यू।
एक सेकेंड, आई विल ओपन माई नोटपैड एंड आई विल राइट इट।
या मैं स्टॉप कर देता हूँ शेयरिंग को।
हाँ ठीक है, I will explain it to you, then maybe it's clear. Maybe you can choose to agree or disagree.
इट्स ओके। नहीं, क्योंकि हम जब ये काम करते हैं, मीन हमारे ऑफिस वगैरह में, राइट? सो जब भी डिस्कस करते हैं, राइट, सो कि इम्पोर्टेंट है, सो द इम्पोर्टेंट फंडामेंटल जब आती है बात, तो इट्स लाइक प्रिसीजन एंड रिकॉल दोनों कंसीडर किया जाता है। दैट्स द लिंगो वी मतलब मोस्ट
That's
ऑफ द
the
टाइम
lingo.
फॉलो किया जाता है।
That's correct. But एक सेकेंड, आप अगर अपना क्वेश्चन देखेंगे तो उसमें क्या बोला उसने? डेटा सेट है, बट उसमें बहुत कम नंबर ऑफ, लो
बिल्कुल।
नंबर ऑफ रिलेशंस आर देयर,
हम्म,
यही है ना डेटा सेट में?
यस यस यस।
ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि मुझे जो रिकमेंडेशन देनी है, वो जो टॉप के वैल्यूज देनी है, अब मेरा ये जो के है, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी स्मॉल।
हाँ
ठीक है, अब मेरा प्रिसीशन का क्या फॉर्मूला होता है? जीएच इंटरसेक्शन आरएच अपॉन टॉप के, मतलब जीएच इंटरसेक्शन आरएच अपॉन का कार्डिनैलिटी अपॉन कार्डिनैलिटी ऑफ आरएच। कार्डिनैलिटी ऑफ आरएच ही तो टॉप के है यहाँ पे। तो इससे क्या होगा, अगर मेरा ये वैल्यू बहुत छोटा है डिनोमिनेटर में, तो प्रिसीजन ओवरवे कर जाएगा, प्रिसीजन का वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा। बट अगर मैं देखूं मतलब टॉप के, और मान लो मेरे रिलेशन में एक्चुअली मेरे ग्राउंड ट्रूथ में लेट्स से 5 ही वैल्यूज थी, पर मेरा मॉडल, और मैं टॉप के नहीं ले रही, मैंने जस्ट के, ओह सॉरी, मैं इसमें और लेट्स से मैं जो के ले रही हूँ, क्योंकि वो डिफाइन नहीं है कि टॉप के कितना होगा, लेट्स से मैं 10 ले रही हूँ,
ठीक है।
तो अब ये उसके हिसाब से एक्चुअली तो मॉडल का प्रिसीशन जो है, लेट्स से इसमें कम आई थी, कॉमन वैल्यूज 2 आई थी, बट टॉप के की वजह से क्योंकि मैंने 10 लिया, तो अब प्रिसीशन को कम वैल्यू मिल रहा है। एक्चुअली मेरे ग्राउंड ट्रूथ में 5 ही वैल्यूज प्रेजेंट थी, तो मुझे रॉन्ग इंप्रेशन मिलेगा ना प्रिसीशन से कि मॉडल का प्रिसीशन लो है, क्योंकि हमारे क्वेश्चन में क्या कंडीशन है? देयर इज अ लो नंबर ऑफ रिलेशन। ठीक है, पर अगर मैं रिकॉल देखती हूँ तो वो क्या होगा? जीएच इंटरसेक्शन आरएच अपॉन में कार्डिनैलिटी ऑफ द ग्राउंड ट्रूथ का हैशटैग, ग्राउंड ट्रूथ मतलब जो एक्चुअल वैल्यूज थी, ट्रू वैल्यूज थी। लेकिन अगर मैं अब इससे कंप्यूट करने की कोशिश करूंगी, लेट्स से मेरी 4 करेक्ट आए और टोटली मेरी 5 थी, तो मतलब कौन सा ज्यादा एक्यूरेट मेजर हुआ? अब
सो बेसिकली रिकॉल मुझे ये बता रहा है कि मैंने कितने रिलेशंस कैप्चर किए, राइट? ठीक,
कैप्चर किए,
हाँ, कितने रिलेशंस कैप्चर किए, सो
अपॉन
हाँ, टोटल रिलेशंस, तो बेसिकली
correct relations. It is
Correct.
not enough to say how many you are capturing, because accuracy में भी वही होता है। accuracy में डिनोमिनेटर जो है सेम रहता है, पर
हाँ।
हम उसके केस में लेट्स से ग्राउंड ट्रूथ को कंसीडर नहीं करते, डिनोमिनेटर में कुछ कंसीडर नहीं करते, वी टेक इट एज एब्सोल्यूट वन, है ना?
एक्यूरेसी में तो हम सभी मतलब बेसिकली अगर हम जैसे
बस
एक्यूरेसी जब
काउंट करते चले जाते, एक भी
हाँ,
कॉमन मिला उस सैंपल के लिए मेरी वैल्यू 1 हो गई, अगला मिला उस सैंपल के लिए मेरी वैल्यू 1 हो गई, ऐसे।
तो जैसे मैं ये बात आपकी मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो, बट अगर मतलब मैं ये सोच रहा था कि जैसे रिकॉल आपने इस केस में बोला क्योंकि हमारी नंबर ऑफ रिलेशंस कम थे, तो हमें देखिए मतलब मेरा क्वेश्चन क्या है, मैं कहना क्या चाह रहा हूँ कि
देखो, आपका क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल सही है कि
हाँ,
जब हम कॉमनली लेते हैं तो
हाँ,
we take F1 score as the absolute measure
या
for checking the performance of the system. That is absolutely correct.
या
This, as you said, is the lingo for the recommender systems of majority of the NLP tasks.
या
But अपने क्वेश्चन में हमको क्या गिवन है? Consider a data set with the low number of relations. वो अपने को चीज थोड़ी सी ध्यान में रखनी है।
सो अब ठीक है, दिस ये डिस्कशन आपने बताया, दिस इज अ गुड पॉइंट टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस। लेकिन अब जैसे मान लीजिए अगर कोई हमें बोलता है, जब जैसे ऑप्शंस दिए हुए हैं इसमें, तो अगर F1 स्कोर भी दिया है, अगर F1 स्कोर हाई है तो दैट मींस रिकॉल भी हाई होगा, प्रिसीजन भी हाई होगा, राइट?
पर मुझे ये नहीं पता ना, अब F1 स्कोर तो हार्मोनिक मीन है, अब मुझे
करेक्ट,
ये नहीं पता कि प्रिसीजन लो हो गया,
हाँ,
रिकॉल जो था वो ठीक था,
हाँ,
तो ओवरऑल हो सकता है ना कि F1 स्कोर जो आएगा
वो
वो
फिर भी रेंज में है।
रेंज में आएगा, मतलब मुझे उससे करेक्ट इंप्रेशन नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है,
हाँ,
सिस्टम का।
ठीक,
तो दैट्स
ओके,
व्हाई आई ट्राई टू गो फॉर द मोस्ट ऑप्टिमल मेजर।
ओके, 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 फाइन, फाइन। सो बेसिकली जनरली नॉट एज अ थंब रूल, बट अगर आपके पास रिलेशंस कम है, कम चीजों को आइडेंटिफाई करनी है, तो रिकॉल कैन बी अ बेटर factor to estimate the performance of the model
I think
as
so.
compared. Yeah.
Yeah, just do not remember the formula, or मतलब do not stick कि F1 ही हमेशा होगा। That's why we tell कि हम लोग अलग-अलग मैट्रिक्स रखते हैं।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट, करेक्ट।
अगर अगर एक ही एब्सोल्यूट होता तो लेट्स से लेक्स रैंक ही एब्सोल्यूट था, तो हमें मैक्सिमम मार्जिनल रेलेवेंस ही लेके आना चाहिए था।
राइट,
अगर
राइट।
F1 स्कोर एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ था तो अपने को एक्यूरेसी की जरूरत नहीं थी फिर। So that's why we say कि हर बार evaluation is subject to what is the task at hand you are solving, or what is the constraint, or what is the nature of your data set.
नहीं, got
Nature
it,
of
got it.
data
I mean,
set पे अपना पूरा problem जो है NLP, it revolves around the nature of the data set only.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
आप
so ये
concept
मेरी
change कर दो, आपका पूरा सिस्टम अलग तरीके से परफॉर्म
करेक्ट,
करेगा।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट। नहीं, वही थोड़ा F1 स्कोर आ गया तो थोड़ा इनिशियली आई वाज आल्सो गोइंग विद रिकॉल, बट मैंने सोचा कि जब F1 स्कोर भी ऑप्शन में है तो मे बी प्रिसीजन वुड आल्सो बी कंसीडर्ड, सो वहां थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो गया, बट ठीक है।
मेरे हिसाब से यही एनालॉजी होना चाहिए, बट मे बी यू कैन राइट टू सर वंस इफ यू फील दैट यू वांट अ
ये
डीपर
ग्रुप में आई
एनालिसिस।
थिंक डिस्कशन फोरम में रिस्पांस नहीं आता सुबह हमने
मे बी देन आई विल लुक इनटू इट,
क्योंकि हम एक ऐसा ही क्वेश्चन मेरे पास है जो अगेन जो आई थिंक वीक 6 के